Hey guys, Steve here for Who Took My Nice Miniature Wargaming. How's it going? Welcome to the video. This one I want to talk about beginning a new army. Not the tips to go begin a new army, there's been lots of videos of that, but myself, I want to begin a new army. When you've been playing as long as I have, even the most fun armies can become kind of old after a while. Not see them giving up on my Ultramarines, never. Or my Black Templars are still tons of fun to play with. I love them. I love adding new models to them. I just finished off another Training War Veteran / Stern Guard. They're kind of do both depending on how I feel. And I actually put that up on the Facebook page and the Instagram account, so check those out. But I know I want to do something completely different than Power Armor, right? Decided, what about Eldar? I've always loved the background of Eldar. This race of psychically superior beings who let it all fall apart in hedonism and losing control to the point where they've had to walk these narrow lines in their lives, doing one thing at a time for the craft world, that is, in order to sort of stave off that temptation to just let loose and kind of recreate their fall over again. Or even the Dark Elder, who sort of continue doing exactly what they did, but now they gather slaves in the millions to stave off the leeching effects of Slaanesh, the warp. All very cool stuff. I've always liked the background. There are sort of these arrogant, childish beings who, at the same time, are super intelligent, super powerful, but they keep making the same mistakes again and again and again. Their arrogance is always causing them to mess with the order of the universe, and eventually it always comes around and bites them in the butt. So I decided to do that. Now, I also, at the same time, I'm going to just go down here. I have a ton of High Elf bits. I got these for Christmas years ago during the, I think it was 7th edition. My wife got them for me. An army I've always wanted to play. Obviously, things changed over the years. I never really got around to them. I still have a ton of bits, though. I'm never actually going to play High Elf. So, an idea formulated in my mind. What if I took some of the High Elf bits, in order to create a Eldari army that, by the way, will no means be competitive. It's just for pure fun. And I mean, that's why I love playing these games. Just the fun of it. The building, the painting, even playing the games. It's all meant for fun. So I decided, what can I use these for? How can I still have some fun with command points and using the detachments, but somehow come up with an Eldari army? I was reading through the codex, and I'm like, Ulthwe. I've always loved Ulthwe. Even when Ulthwe sort of, it's always been there, but when they really put into prominence in the 13th Crusade Codex that came out, wow, years ago now, it had the 13th Company, the Acadians first appeared in that as their own force, the Lost and the Damned, and what else is there? Oh yeah, Ulthwe, right? Ulthwe, 13th Company, Lost and the Damned. Yeah, those four. That was really cool. Here is an army filled with Psychers. They're so close to that of terror all the time, fending off chaos. They just did a ton of Psychers. So I said, okay, start with Ulthwe. So I'm going to flip down, table side down, just a few minutes. Actually, probably just a few seconds. And I'm going to go over sort of my thought process and to get your opinion as well, because there's a lot of you guys out there whose opinion matters to me a lot. And I want to know what you guys think. Is this something that will work? Because obviously there is some aesthetic differences between High Elves and Eldar, but at the same time, there are a lot of similarities. The robes, the swords, the weapons all look in certain ways alike. So I'm going to flip down. I'm going to show you what I've decided to do. You guys can tell me if I'm crazy or not. So I'll be back. So here I have a bunch of the bits I've laid out. So I'm going to be using the legs of the old High Elf archers. since they're very robe-like, and the torsos. Again, because they're not very big on the armor, which the Farseers. Now, what I've decided is to go with the Farseer and 2 Warlock Conclaves, forming a Supreme Command Detachment. I'll end up having only 4 command points, but there is some cool stuff in there when it comes to Ulthwe and some of their stratagems that allow you to get extra command points or get extra psychic powers for, I think, the cost of 1 command point. So I've got this guy right here, a sort of a concept. Now he's nowhere near finished, but you see I'm using, actually, all of that minus the head is from the High Elf Archer sprue. So I have a nice sword there, which would be my the standard blade, the striking sword or whatever it is. I can't remember actually right now. We got an archer hand. It's just doing some sort of weird. I just thought it fit because you might be trying to cast some sort of weird psychic power. And then of course the head is actually a high elf mage head, trying to go for the whole sort of ghost helm / just the standard helmet that the warlocks use. And I did another one here, just another kind of one. I went with another high elf head. Again, all these parts are actually from the high elf sprue, the archer sprue, including the sword. Right, just nice. And of course I got more legs, some torso, some different weapons. Even use the spears, the singing spears for the warlocks. Let's get that in focus there. Again, they do have, it's really not that much different from the models you see now. And of course, I'd probably end up using heads from the spearmen to kind of give that conical helmet shape that the Eldar so love. But yeah, so that's what I think I'm going to do with them. Having these 2 Warlock Conclaves and a Farseer. We're going to see my 3 HQ choices. Of course, taking Ulthwe. It's pretty cool because I actually get to, on a 6, I believe, if I use their particular craft world, I get to ignore wounds. Go along with the Ghost Helm, which also gives me the ability to ignore wounds, and using some of the stratagems that allow me to have the chance to generate extra psychic powers per turn for both the Conclaves and the Farseer. I do have an ability to actually do some nasty psychic damage with these guys. Obviously, as I said before, this would be nowhere near competitive. Not at all. I think the max range for most of my stuff is about 12 inches for the Shuriken catapults or their Shuriken pistols. If I decided to take a number with the singing spears that they can throw, it's 12 inches. Even with the Conclave, if you use some more destructive stuff, the range is actually cut from 18 inches to 9, but it does more mortal wounds, which is nice, but also shortens the range. So these guys are going to be up close a lot, which means in certain battles, the trouble would be getting them there. I may have to add some transports, maybe not. It's not going to be a massive army. I think total will be 21 models. But yeah, so that's my next idea, because I like to torture myself with ideas. It's fun. But yeah, I'm going to switch back up now, and we'll take a look at some of the stuff that I just rambled on about there.
So there you go, guys. That's sort of my idea. Creating a Ulthwe Craft World psychic force to use in just fun games, right? Obviously, I'm going to have to do more to those models. I have that proof of concept model there. I'm going to have to add other things, make it look a bit more 40k-ish than fantasy, obviously. But yeah, and I decided, I'm going to look here, I got the Farseer. With his rune armor again. I kind of like the models with the archers because they have a lack of armor, which obviously Farseers and Warlocks don't have a lot of armor on. I think they have a 6+ armor save that's just robes, so that kind of fits in. I do have some other some models for like the wizards and all that. I may try and incorporate that all together as a Farseer. Obviously, one of those, but for the Conclave, I think I'm going to definitely go with those bodies of the archers to kind of give that unarmored look, which is nice. Sorry, my computer's beeping at me. But yeah, that's definitely what I want to go for. It gives me 21 models when I'm all said and done. Now, the cool thing is when I get to I'm just trying to get the special rules. Obviously,
the craft world attribute, I would go for Ulthwe, Foresight of the Damned, because you roll a d6 each time a model loses a wound. On a 6, the wound is ignored. What's really cool about the Farseer is he has the Ghost Helm, which same sort of thing. If he takes a mortal wound, so I can choose. So if it's just a normal wound, I can use that ability and try and stave off that wound. If I decide if it's a mortal wound, which is the Ghost Helm, let me get back to the Ghost Helm here. I'm just flipping around, trying to get back to my Ghost Helm. There we go. Cool. With Farseer, the Ghost Helm, which is cool. Roll d6 when the model suffers a mortal wound, adding 3 to the roll if the mortal wound is inflicted as a result of the Psyker suffering perils of warp. On a 5+, that wound is ignored. So if I get hit by smite or anything that causes a mortal wound, a sniper shot, anything like that, I have a good chance of, well, I have an okay chance of ignoring it. Even better chance if it's the perils of the warp. Again, this is using the Supreme Command attachment. I'm only going to have 4 command points to play with, which isn't a lot. I believe one of the Ulthwe, if I decide to use it, come on, let's go. If I can get back to it there. There's a couple cool stratagems as well, if I can find them. One is, where is it? I passed it. Where is it? I'm trying to find it now. I had him and I've lost him. Where did they go? I can't find them right now, but that's okay. Basically, it allows me to, if I have a unit that uses the conclave, the warlock powers, I have the chance to generate an extra psychic power that turn. There's also one, it's 1 command point. There's also one for Farseers using their powers. I get the chance to generate another psychic power that turn for 1 command point. So it's pretty cool. So I can use some of those command points to get these guys extra powers out, doing whatever I need them to do to sort of win the day. And yeah, the other one is Fate Reader. If your army is Battle Forged, which it would be, and your warlord is on the battlefield, roll d6 to start of each turn. Yours and your opponent's on a 6, you gain a command point. So I definitely use that one. Hopefully the chance to generate a command point every turn to hopefully make up for the fact that I'd only have 4. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave it there, guys. You tell me what you think. Is it something I should go for? I mean, I'm gonna go for it anyways, but maybe I'm crazy. Maybe think it's wrong. I don't know. Let me know. And as always, guys, if you like what you saw, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I put videos up. And as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. And keep rolling those dice, guys. See you later. Bye.